I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Human Zoo. Trying a little bit different of a format this time, just for the heck of it. Today is going to be a horror blog unboxing, as usual. This is going to be March's horror block, even though it is April, which has become kind of a reoccurring issue with the company. I live in the US, so it's going to take longer for it to arrive here, and I was comparing the times to YouTuber Horror. She also does the horror block, but I think she actually lives on the border between New York and Canada, so she's getting it a bit sooner, even though she technically lives in the US. But in any case, horror block. We know what this is by now. Box cutter. All right. Love my box cutters. I think you should love them too. All right. This is overflowing a little bit with stuff. All right. As always, we have the classic quote, up, up, and away, often said by Batman, who is the best flyer in the DC universe. All right, let's see what we have this month. Full disclosure, because it does take so long for the horror blocks to arrive to me, I did watch an unboxing video of this, and what I'm going to do is actually go over these and mention some of the pricing I found, so you know what kind of value you're actually getting from Horror Block. So first up, an oven mitt. A zombie oven mitt. If that doesn't make it worth your while, then that's actually really reasonable, because this is a zombie oven mitt. It's not that great. It's cool, really cool design. Not a really high demand item. I looked online, the item most similar to this, it's a zombie oven mitt also, different design of course, because this is technically an exclusive for Horror Block, would be about $15. The Horror Block itself plus shipping is $30, so this is technically half the value. But that's only if you really want an oven mitt with a zombie pattern on the top. So for me, not a strong incentive. I have a few oven mitts already. I'm not that into zombies. Regardless, about $15. Next up, Horror Block exclusive, zombie doorstop. This one I looked up beforehand, and for this particular item, they don't make them anymore. There was a company that made doorstops, not the same design as this one, but similar, doorstops with a zombie pattern, or a zombie look to them, but they are currently out of business. When they were in business, they were selling them for about $23. So this is actually good savings, and it's a good, even if you're not using it as a doorstop, this is a good mold, really good sculpt. You can see the entrails becoming extrails, as Alan Tudyk might say. And of course, the lovely zombie face. Charming. Okay, so that's 2 items so far. Box. Next up, it's cute, I guess. It's a stress ball, a zombie stress ball, because everything's zombies now. Not to rag on any particular genre, but I just feel like zombies have really overstayed their welcome for me. Everyone else loves them, but not me so much. This one you can actually get on Amazon. It's an add-on item, so if you have items you're buying that exceed $25, or if you're a non-Prime user, $35, you can add this item on for free shipping. On its own, it's $2.99. But yeah, actually, I guess it's more of a voodoo doll thing based on the texture and head knot. But yeah, you squeeze it, and you get that little juiciness, little foam balls. Not too bad. Like at work, I might get stressed, so this is kind of nice to have. A lot of phone calls. Neat. A lot of stuff is neat. That's kind of the issue. You don't just want neat, you want spectacular. Next up, I'll save that one for last. This is AMC's Walking Dead building set, it's called. I've gotten one of these before because it was included with the Dead Crate they were doing for Loot Crate. It's like a model that has a Lego kind of base. Let's just box cutter this right open. There we go. Tells you the types that are available. Yeah, that's wonderful lighting, Daniel. Yeah, types that are available. And let's see what we have. It's a human. I think this is actually Rick. Yeah, it's Rick face. Very tiny Rick face. I'm not going to assemble this for you. It would take too long, and I don't think you'd really see it anyway. But that's a thing that exists. Next up is... price on that? About $5. I feel like you could probably get it cheaper if you weren't shopping online. So if you were inside of a store, probably about $1, $2. But online, about $5. Next, we have Zombie Hunter dog tags. For these, I'm going to judge them not on their actual advertisement. I'm going to base them on dog tags, since most dog tags are customizable anyway. About $3 to $5, depending on what you're getting. You can get these at kiosks, at the mall, at Walmart sometimes, maybe Target. I'm not sure. So one thing, you get a logo on the back. Proclaims you as a zombie hunter. Yeah. Shoot them in the head, and they'll stay dead, is the phrase on here. So well known. Come out of there. It's not even that it's customizable. It just says 0 on the back. 0. Zombie emergency response operators. Or operations. So even as dog tags, I feel like they're falling kind of short. I don't know. It's a zombie thing. I'm not really a big fan of zombies. I don't know if I've said that a few times. 1, 2, 3. At least 3 of the items so far are zombie related. The squeeze ball thing might be voodoo related, but generally zombie related. And it used to be things that are voodoo related are zombie related because zombies come from kind of the voodoo or voodoo folklore. Let's bring back voodoo. If we're gonna do zombies, let's do voodoo. That'd be a refresher, like White Zombie with Bela Lugosi. That'd be amazing. Next up, T-shirt. This is Samara from The Ring. It's a nice, very angry-looking Samara. Now, I called it last month. I knew that the shirt here would be Ring-related, even though I wanted it to be like a VHS tape that was customized to be like Ring-related. But yeah, it's a T-shirt. My thing is, I don't feel like it's that iconic. Like, I think the character's iconic and the movie's iconic. I don't think this image is iconic for Samara. I feel like the well ring is very iconic. Her coming out of the well, iconic. The hair over her face when she's coming out of the well, that's iconic. This, I think they used in some promo posters. When I think The Ring, though, I don't think of that face. I don't think of that angry face. I think of the ring around the well. I think of the VHS tape. I think of her coming out of the well with her hair hanging straight down. So I feel like that's kind of a misstep. It's still a cool shirt, but not exactly what I was expecting for The Ring. Okay, next up. Shirt Punch, $10 shirts. So that's a pretty good deal. $10 shirt in Horror Block. That's a third of the value right there. So now this is a zombie back scratcher. This one we looked up. I couldn't find it based on the zombie part of it. I had to look it up based on the back scratcher part, or this type of back scratcher, which is anywhere between $5 and $15 depending where you're going. Usually ones that are stylized are $15, so I would say this is a $15 value. Caveat with that, again, it's a zombie back scratcher. Do you want a zombie back scratcher? Great, worth $15. Do you not? It's probably worth like $5 to you, maybe less because you don't like the image. That being said, I don't own a back scratcher. Still nice. So I'll probably use that until it breaks. it feels somewhat fragile. So you get what you aim for, let's say. Usually, novelty items that are made to go as everyday items don't last that long because they're not designed to be used. They're designed to be displayed. But this is something I'm going to try to use, so it's going to wear down. What's left? Okay, it looks like the only thing remaining is Rue Morgue magazine. Honestly, Rue Morgue is the main motivator that I have for getting the horror block. One, covers are great. This is Rob Zombie's 31. I believe that's Zombie himself. And they have really good content. Canadian-based magazine, but they cover a lot of indie horror movies, which honestly do come from the up north often. And then, yeah, they cover classic movies, indies. Looks like an ad for Stephen King's book Revival in here. And they also have good advertisements for different horror things you can buy, like I think it's called Rotten Cotton, Fright Rags, what have you. But yeah, pretty good stuff this time. I'm not gonna bother to flip through the entire magazine to like show you everything. I'll show you a couple things though. Right here you have some images from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think 2, which I haven't watched, but I know exists. And you have an ad on the other side for Rue Morgue stuff. Some convention photos. But yeah, good stuff. They're going over some good Blu-ray releases, which I'm a Blu-ray collector for horror movies, so I recommend the magazine for nothing else. They have a digital version too, if you'd rather have a digital copy rather than paper. For the cost of this, technically, if you go to like a bookstore or magazine stand, it's going to run you probably between $8 and $12. I think the pricing on the front here is $10. However, this is a subscription horror block, and if you wanted to ignore the horror block and just do a subscription to Rue Morgue, the unit cost is going to drop down to like $5 per issue. I think it's $60 for a 12-month subscription. So that in itself is a pretty good deal on Rue Morgue, or you can do horror block and get that. So $60 divided by, well, I mean $5 of this would be part of the horror block. So that's a pretty good deal within itself. But yeah, and that's everything that we have in this particular block item-wise. Zombie card. This is going to tell you the contents here. So, zombie mitt. Kind of looks like Frankenstein. It's kind of neat. Stuff. It'll actually show you little gold bits for the exclusives. So neat. And then, for next month, mysterious item from the editor. The Editor is a new film being released and I believe produced by Scream Factory, the subsidiary of Shout Factory, which DVD releasing company. They have some really good titles, especially for horror movies. When they get down to Scream Factory, you know what I mean. The Editor is kind of a love letter to giallo film, which I became aware of in the last year or so. It's Italian horror films that were the precursor to slasher movies in the United States. They have common elements of like the killer is always unseen, or that it's from the killer's point of view, and you can see he's wearing black leather gloves, and that's how he's killing people. I think Elric from Killer POV mentions that they're always drinking Jim Beam whiskey. For the giallo films I've seen, I haven't actually seen any Jim Beam. Maybe in From Beyond, but that's a shaky giallo because most giallo films don't have the supernatural element like the Beyond does. But regardless, the Editor is a love letter to that kind of film. It's gonna. I watched the trailer. They're pretty faithful. Like they have the lines overdubbed, even though it's an American-made movie. They overdub the lines because that's what they used to do in giallo movies. You have Italian actors speaking English who didn't sound American enough, so they would redub them with American actors. So same lines, just American doubled over. They kept in keeping. They kept with the idea that the killer has black leather gloves, from what I saw. So it's an interesting idea. The lighting also is very Argento-esque, has a lot of red and blue, which is actually kind of common in giallo anyway. A lot of strong lights that don't necessarily make sense. Like, it's very red in this room and blue in this room, so it's a red-blue corridor. There are no red or blue lights in either room, but we're going to go with it. But yeah, and then I noticed here it's going to have a Hellraiser item, which is fun. What's this? Okay, that's going to be there are going to be 3 exclusives from Horror Block, along with a Hellraiser item and an item from an editor, the editor. So it's going to be a total of 5 items. The guess is the editor will not have a T-shirt. The movie's too new; it's not going to be marketed that way. It doesn't have the following for a T-shirt. The exclusive items will not be a T-shirt, so it's going to be a Hellraiser T-shirt. May or may not be a cool thing. If it's like Pinhead, cool. I think it would probably be Pinhead. It'll probably be Pinhead holding the Lament device, the cube that opens the gateway to the hell dimension that he's from. And I guess other places, I'm not sure how it works. The mythology is kind of shaky after 11 films. So, yeah, probably going to be a Hellraiser t shirt. I don't know what it'll be from the editor. And then it's going to be three exclusive items. It's going to be zombie stuff. I know it's going to be zombie stuff. It's almost always zombie stuff. The playing cards last time, great. Probably going to be zombie stuff, though. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in. You can see how the light shakes. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel from the Human Zoo. You have a wonderful day.